Welcome to the Unit 3 discussion board here in our American History 2 course at Waldorf University. And this week, as we kind of look at World War I, we're going to take a look at the United States. And the question is intentionally put together. You can read it right above here, so I'm not going to rehash that for you. But you got to make a stance. That's the first thing you got to do on the discussion board in your initial post. And in order to do this, I want you to take the United States in World War I and whether the United States was very vital in the outcome or whatever. I want you to take a look at that, make your stance, do some research, and then use quantitative and qualitative evidence to support that point that you're trying to make. So what are some of the different things you could do here to improve your stance? Because the first thing I want you to do is be comfortable with your own position that you're taking. And one way to do that is to find good quality research. So we talked about scholarly sources and primary sources over on the video. And I think those are two things you can use to help improve your own credibility. That's why research is so important and why knowing why people created the things they did. That's why we have what we call primary sources, secondary sources, or scholarly sources, and then tertiary sources. A lot of the work I've seen you putting in the course so far as a group is a lot of times we'll see those tertiary sources, things written for a general audience that are maybe just informative. And I realize most of you are interacting with these topics for the first time, so Wikipedia can be really useful. Go a step deeper, though, and find somebody with some expertise that's going to build in your own credibility. In the same way that some of you that are firefighters or police officers or military personnel, it'd be really difficult. I could probably learn some things about what you do on a day-to-day basis. I understand basic fire safety, for instance, but whose word would you take on things related to your own job? Somebody that's an expert in your field. In that way, you should be thinking about the sources you're using to make your points in this course, especially as you stake out a claim on the discussion board this week, as well as in your written work other places. So once you've done some research, you've put some things into it, you've staked out your position, then I want you to disagree with somebody. Now, this should be respectful. We're all bringing valid viewpoints into this. Hopefully, we're doing good quality research. We have things to say. You could come down on either side of this question and be completely reasonable and make a great case from an argumentative standpoint. I want you to thoughtfully disagree with somebody. So that again means bringing in some of your own information, bringing in your own viewpoint, perspective, relying on outside expertise. And asking, have you considered this? What about this alternative viewpoint? Those kind of things. And then hopefully we can have a really good conversation going. So if you have questions, make sure you're reaching out. But again, do your research. Make sure that you're coming down firmly with a position and have a really great conversation. Thanks for the hard work you're putting in this week.